Hi, you know I did a video a few days ago where I put up an older video I did about the keyboard. I want to come back to that. But now I want to show you this. And this is the same thing I've shown you. This is the code of creation. It's what I've always shown you right here. Right? Right here is just the idea of a cycle. Alright? Just a cycle. Now this cycle then can be repeated as far out as you want, because it would be then called life, because this cycle happens all the time. You know, it's happening right now. So as you are given an idea or a truth, it then will go through this cycle. You will then decide if it warrants your time or not. Right? So I'll explain that. So when this is most people. They're sitting there watching. They're just observers to the world. However, their temple is full of nonsense. Basically, nothing in here is real. Nothing. They have been mesmerized by a mirage, a reflection, a 69. The idea of their mind turned onto itself, pushed together, consuming itself into the figure 8. Powered by the one and only self. Right. They are the serpent, man. So anyways, as you reflect, because that's what you do from your senses, your 5 senses, all right? The 6, when someone talks about the 6 being an idea of a number of man, all these numbers are you. This is all your thought, every thought. Absolutely every thought, great and small, all creatures as well. So then it goes into the 2. So you are presented with something, takes you out of the state of grace or the state of peace. A reflection is shown to you, an idea, a light, an idea. Your concern, your 2, brings that in. All right, that creates that 3. That 3 is then reflected against the idea itself. All right? That 2-7 idea. If you flip that 7, it creates that pyramid without a top on it. The reason there's no top is because that's yet to be determined. That's left to your imagination. Or, if it's a truth, it's left to your observation. All right? Now this 4 is the door. It's the Dalet. It's the 3-6 system that you're walking into. Unless it's the truth. And then it is just an observation of creation. Now the 5, as they all reduce to that Tet 9, or idolization, if you allow it, if it warrants it, is into the idea of the body. Now this is where it left our minds and went into the physical body, meaning that you got that thought and instead of sitting there you got up and you moved. That is that moment in time. That idea that you are now transporting in your temple, that's what's between your ears, by the way. That's what's right in here. That's what's keeping time. That's what keeps you occupied. That's what gets you concerned. That's when you wake up in the morning and you say, I wonder what blank. That's a void waiting to be filled. All right? With the idea of the reflection. Remember I told you that this is a reflection. All right? That is the 4-5, the idea of that gun to your head, the idea of going into the man, of saying move it or lose it. The 54. All right? That is the reflection of that concern. That's why you then transport that cube with you. Remember the cube, or the contained idea. That box is what you are transporting. That box is the 6. 6 sides. It has 8 corners on it. That is the 68 idea. Remember what's in there? All right? Is the 7, or the idea of the Zion. That is what is moving this. That is the energy created by you, the serpent snake eating its tail. All right? That then rotates and it creates what you would call the black hole sun. I showed you that in the Discern videos, 4 into 1, where the 4 colors go down in it, and then they turn into 1. I showed you that. All right? You can look it up. Then moving out, do you see how then that also, that idea of the 8, the 7, and the 6, when that is going through your mind, when you are now moving in time, these numbers are all movement in actual time. All right? You're moving. Your actual physical body's moving. All right? That 72 is a reflection of the ring that brought you there. All right? All right? That's that 7 idea or the actual Zion, the 63 is a reflection of what came through that door. You see that? 3-6, 6-3, 2-7, 7-2. Do you see that what's then put into your temple? That your concern added to your 1, meaning that you want to not ever forget it. So you put it right there in your temple, and it's an idolization of yours, is a reflection of the initial concern for that light. Had you never exposed yourself to it, or it never was exposed to you, that step would never have happened. All right? So then moving forward into this idea of cycles, you have coming up, I find an interesting cycle, the One World Trade Center cycle. You noticed it was lit up red, white, and blue, and that just goes into the same thing I was just showing you here. This was also red, white, and blue. All right, so then you look at the idea of the cycle, meaning 9/11/2001, 9/11/2020. That is a 19-year cycle. Now, write down 19-year cycle and look into that. 19-year cycle Bible, 19-year cycle music, 19-year cycle economy. Just look into that. You'll see that there's a lot there. Anyway, so I want to show you just the root of that. That's all details, by the way, what I just said. So then I'm moving forward then. This is the combination. This is the time, being that this is going to be a 19-year cycle, that those that go by these are both fallen pillars. These both represent the left and right pillar of what's called, Masonic and all the other nonsense mystery cults. This is also, if you notice this wavelength in the middle, this time warp creation, this is the coming together of 2 calendars, or 2 ways of telling time. All right, 2 fallen systems then repelling each other. This is the time that they are then brought into tune, so that they can separate again. All right. So this would be, that's what that's about. All right. So moving forward, if you haven't seen colors, tones, tunes, and numbers, you'll want to take a look at that, because I explain through that what all this means, all this fascination with the pyramid, and the idea, the fascination with the 2 balls and the cane, or the 21. All of that's explained into here. All right, through all these characters and fake these fake histories that you've been presented. Okay, so then moving through this 19 cycle, it's going to be called. It's an actual. I want to show you. It's a full movement. It's an idea of an octave movement. So then at that 19-year cycle, when those 2 ideas of time are brought together again, they were wrung apart in 2001 in September 11th. They will have to then come again together September 11th this year, according to the cycle. All right, and then that's an octave move. Remember, a 2 into 1. I just showed you that. It's the idea of the 2 into 1, or the idea of a new tone, or a new timeline. All right, a new set of rules of engagement. So moving forward there, if you haven't seen Remove and Stomp your Googling glasses, because you've had them your whole life, it's where I show you that I can take something that's flat and then present through lines and create a space. This goes through and right here and create the idea of the pyramid in front of you. I can then create a three-dimensional space in front of you. After watching this video and the Code of Creation video, you should then understand why I'm putting these numbers to the outside as well and what they mean. All right? But then as you go through this video, you'll see that I get to the point where I'm putting dots here. If you've seen the movie 2001, you'll know that there's a monolith. That monolith is the idea of the fallen one. The fallen one is the one who fell into the hole. Okay? But the fallen one is also the reason the one fell into the hole. Because they were chasing the one world they thought existed. And it turned out to be an illusion. A false god. All right? So then it got turned on its head, and that promise of all the stars, Dave, see, it's full of stars, remember that on the monolith? That's what that means. It means that you were shown something, and it enticed you, and you fell into death, right? It was stood before this monumental pyramid system behind you, which turned in all direction, is a hoax lie system, all right? So anyways, that's what this video is about. If you watch that, you'll actually see a lot in there. So maybe you will. Anyways, have a good one, man. It's all good. Cheers.